Maya Singh had always been the responsible one, the daughter who stayed behind when her older brother moved to London for his master's degree, the sister who put her own dreams on hold when her father fell ill 3 years ago. At 28, she found herself standing in the cramped kitchen of their two-bedroom apartment in Mumbai's Andheri neighborhood, staring at the pressure cooker hissing on the stove, wondering when exactly her life had become a series of obligations instead of choices. "Maya, did you pick up Papa's medicines?" Her mother called from the living room, where she sat with her embroidery, creating intricate patterns on silk saris that she sold to supplement the family income. "Yes, Ma," Maya replied, her voice automatic, trained by years of responding to similar questions. She had picked up the medicines, just as she had done every Tuesday for the past 3 years. She had also bought the groceries, paid the electricity bill, and squeezed in a virtual meeting with a potential client for her freelance graphic design work, all before noon. The pressure cooker's whistle pierced the air, sharp and insistent, much like the thoughts that had been growing louder in Maya's mind lately. She turned off the gas and stood there for a moment, letting the steam rise around her, obscuring her reflection in the small window above the sink. Her phone buzzed on the counter. It was a message from Priya, her best friend since college, now married and living in Pune with her husband and infant daughter. "Girl, you need to come visit. I'm drowning in baby puke and domesticity. Also, Arjun's cousin is single and apparently very interested in meeting you. His parents are not pushy about marriage." Direct quote. Maya smiled despite herself, then typed back, "Does he know what not pushy means? Because I feel like that phrase has lost all meaning in Indian families." 3 dots appeared immediately. "Fair point. But seriously, when are you coming? It's been 6 months. 6 months. Had it really been that long? Time had a way of slipping through her fingers lately, days blending into weeks, weeks into months, all of them shaped by the same routine. Wake up, take care of Papa, work on design projects, cook, clean, sleep, repeat. Maya, her mother's voice again, this time with an edge of concern. "The dal is burning." It wasn't, but Maya rushed to stir it anyway, the familiar guilt settling over her shoulders like a too heavy shawl. Her mother meant well. She always did. But somewhere in the constant vigilance, in the never-ending stream of reminders and corrections, Maya had started to feel like she was disappearing, becoming less of a person and more of a function. That evening, after dinner was served and cleaned up, after her father's medicines were administered and he was settled in front of the television watching his favorite news program, Maya retreated to the small corner of the living room that served as her workspace. Her laptop glowed in the dim light, a portal to the world she had built for herself, pixel by pixel, design by design. She opened her portfolio website, scrolling through the logos, website designs, and brand identities she had created over the past 5 years. Each one represented a client's dream brought to life, a vision she had helped shape and polish. But as she looked at her work, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was helping everyone else build their dreams while her own remained sketched in pencil, never quite making it to the final draft. Her phone lit up with another message, this time from an unknown number. She hesitated before opening it, her freelancer's instinct warning her it could be spam or, worse, another relative wanting to just talk about her marriage prospects. But the message surprised her. "Hi Maya, I hope this isn't too forward. I got your number from the Mumbai freelancers group. I'm starting a design studio in Bandra, and I'm looking for a creative director. Your portfolio is exactly what we need. Would you be interested in meeting?" Zara Khan. Maya's heart jumped. A creative director position. In Bandra, one of Mumbai's most vibrant neighborhoods, known for its creative community and independent spirit. She read the message 3 more times, each word feeling both like a possibility and an impossibility. She glanced at her father, dozing in his chair, at her mother, now reading a magazine with her reading glasses perched on her nose, at the walls of this apartment that had contained her entire world for so long. Then she looked back at the message. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard for a long moment before she finally typed, "Hi Zara, thank you for reaching out. I'd be very interested in learning more. When would be a good time to meet?" She hit send before she could overthink it, Before the voice in her head that sounded suspiciously like her grandmother could remind her of all the reasons why a single woman shouldn't take risks, why stability was more important than dreams, why her duty was here, in this apartment, in this role she had been playing for so long she had almost forgotten it was a role at all. The response came within minutes. How about tomorrow? There's a cafe in Bandra called the Bohemian Bean. Does 4 p.m. work? Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Maya quickly calculated. She could pick up Papa's medicines in the morning, prepare dinner in advance. Her mother could handle serving it. It was possible. Difficult, but possible. Yes, that works. See you then. As Maya closed her laptop that night, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. A flutter of nervousness, yes, but also excitement. The kind that made her skin tingle and her thoughts race ahead of themselves. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, imagining herself walking into that cafe, shaking Zara's hand, talking about design philosophy and creative vision, being seen as Maya the designer, not just Maya the dutiful daughter. But sleep didn't come easily, because beneath the excitement lay a familiar weight, the one that whispered, "Whose do you think you are? Your family needs you. You can't just pursue your own dreams. That's selfish." Maya turned on her side, pulling the thin blanket up to her chin. Tomorrow she would go to that meeting. Tomorrow, she would at least hear what Zara had to say. And maybe, just maybe, tomorrow would be the first step toward becoming someone she had always wanted to be, but had never quite allowed herself to become. Outside her window, Mumbai hummed with its endless energy, millions of stories unfolding simultaneously, dreams being chased and caught and lost and found again. And somewhere in that vast, chaotic, beautiful city, Maya's story was about to take a turn she had never anticipated. The next morning arrived with the usual chaos. Maya woke at 6, made tea, helped her father with his morning routine, prepared breakfast, and listened to her mother's detailed instructions about how to cook the chicken curry for dinner, even though Maya had been making the same recipe for years. "And don't forget to add extra green chilies. Your father likes it spicy," her mother said, standing in the kitchen doorway in her cotton nightgown, her hair still in the loose braid she slept in. "I know, Ma," Maya said, trying to keep the impatience out of her voice. "I'm just reminding you. Last time it was too bland." Last time had been fine, but Maya didn't argue. She had learned long ago that some battles weren't worth fighting, that sometimes it was easier to just nod and smile and do things your own way anyway. By the time she had finished the morning's tasks and taken a quick shower, it was already noon. She had 4 hours until the meeting, which should have been plenty of time, but in a city like Mumbai, where traffic could turn a 30-minute journey into a 2-hour ordeal, nothing was certain. Maya stood in front of her small wardrobe, trying to decide what to wear. Most of her clothes were practical, simple kurtas, jeans, the occasional salwar kameez for family functions. Nothing that screamed creative director. She pulled out a black cotton kurta with subtle embroidery at the neckline, paired it with dark jeans, and added the silver jumkas her brother had sent her for her last birthday. Professional but not trying too hard. Creative but not impractical. "Where are you going?" her mother asked when Maya emerged from her room, her laptop bag slung over her shoulder. "I have a meeting with a potential client," Maya said, which was technically true, even if it wasn't the whole truth. "A meeting? Where?" "Bandra." Her mother's eyebrows rose. "That's quite far. Will you be back for dinner?" "Yes, Ma. I've already prepared everything. The chicken is marinating, the rice is soaked. You just need to cook it." "I can manage," her mother said, though her tone suggested she was already mentally preparing a list of things Maya had probably forgotten. Maya kissed her father goodbye, grabbed her bag, and headed out into the relentless Mumbai afternoon. The heat hit her like a wall, the kind of humid, sticky heat that made your clothes cling to your skin within seconds. She flagged down an auto rickshaw, negotiated the fare, and climbed in, grateful for the breeze that came with movement, even if it was mixed with exhaust fumes and dust. As the auto weaved through traffic, Maya watched the city scroll past her window. Mumbai was a city of contrasts, where gleaming high-rises stood next to sprawling slums, where BMWs and bicycles shared the same chaotic roads, where dreams came true and broke apart with equal frequency. She had lived here her entire life, but sometimes she felt like she had barely scratched its surface, like there were layers of the city she had never explored because she had been too busy, too responsible, too afraid. The auto dropped her off near Bandra's Linking Road, and Maya walked the rest of the way to the Bohemian Bean, following the directions on her phone. The neighborhood was exactly as she had imagined. Tree-lined streets, colorful graffiti on walls, independent boutiques and quirky cafes, young people with asymmetrical haircuts and confident strides. This was the Mumbai she had dreamed of being part of, the creative, vibrant possibilities around every corner Mumbai. The Bohemian Bean was tucked into a quiet corner, its entrance marked by a hand-painted sign and a small garden of potted plants. Maya pushed open the door and was immediately enveloped by the smell of fresh coffee and old books. The interior was exactly what its name suggested: mismatched furniture, walls covered in local art, soft jazz playing in the background, and an atmosphere that invited you to stay, to create, to think. Maya scanned the cafe and spotted a woman sitting at a corner table, her laptop open in front of her, a cup of coffee at her elbow. She was probably in her mid-30s, with shoulder-length hair streaked with purple, wearing a loose linen shirt and chunky silver jewelry. She looked up as Maya approached, and her face broke into a warm smile. "Maya? I'm Zara," she said, standing to shake Maya's hand. Her grip was firm, confident. "Thanks so much for coming all the way here." "Of course," Maya said, sliding into the chair across from her. "Your message was intriguing." A waiter appeared, and Maya ordered a cappuccino, trying to project a calm she didn't quite feel. Her heart was racing, her palms slightly sweaty despite the cafe's air conditioning. "So," Zara said, leaning back in her chair, "let me tell you about what we're building. I've been freelancing for about 10 years now, mostly corporate work, and honestly, I'm tired of designing things that don't matter. I want to work with brands that have a purpose, that are trying to make a difference, you know? Social enterprises, sustainable fashion, eco-friendly startups. That kind of thing." Maya nodded, feeling a spark of recognition. She had felt the same way for years, but had never quite articulated it. "I'm opening a studio called Narrative Design," Zara continued. "The idea is that every brand has a story, and our job is to help them tell it visually. But I can't do it alone. I need someone who gets it, someone who has the technical skills, but also the creative vision. When I saw your portfolio, especially that series you did for the organic food startup and the women's empowerment NGO, I thought, this is exactly the kind of work I want to do. Your designs aren't just pretty, they say something." Maya felt a flush of pride. She had put her heart into those projects, working late into the night because she believed in them, because they felt like they mattered. "I appreciate that," Maya said. "Those were passion projects for me. I took them on for almost nothing because I wanted to be part of something meaningful." "And that's exactly the attitude I'm looking for," Zara said. "Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Starting a studio is risky. For the first 6 months, maybe a year, we'll be working hard to build the client base, and the pay won't be amazing. But I believe in this, and I'm willing to invest everything I have into making it work. What I need to know is, are you interested? And if you are, what would you need from this job to say yes?" The question hung in the air between them. What did Maya need? Security, her practical side whispered. A steady income, the ability to support her family. But another voice, one she had been trying to suppress for years, whispered something different. Purpose, challenge, growth, the chance to be more than she had been. "I'm definitely interested," Maya said carefully. "But I need to be honest with you about my situation. I live with my parents, and my father has some health issues. I'm his primary caretaker, which means I need flexibility. I can't always stay late or travel on short notice. If that's a deal breaker, I understand." Zara took a sip of her coffee, considering. "I appreciate your honesty. Here's what I'm thinking. This isn't a traditional office job. I'm planning to have a small studio space, but a lot of the work can be done remotely. As long as the work gets done and the quality is there, I don't care if you're working from home, from here, or from the moon. Does that work?" Relief washed over Maya. That could work. "What kind of commitment are you looking for?" full-time, but with the flexibility I mentioned. I'm thinking a 3-month trial period to see if we work well together, and then we can discuss making it permanent. In terms of salary, Zara named a figure that was more than Maya was currently making from her freelance work, but less than she knew she could make in a corporate job. But it wasn't about the money, not really. It was about the possibility, the potential, the chance to do work that mattered with someone who understood why it mattered. Can I think about it? Maya asked. I need to talk to my family, figure out the logistics. Of course, Zara said. Take a week. But I hope you say yes, Maya. I really think we could build something special together. They talked for another hour about design philosophy, about the brands Zara wanted to work with, about the vision for the studio. Maya found herself leaning forward, animated, ideas flowing out of her faster than she could articulate them. This was what she had been missing: the creative exchange, the collaboration, the feeling of building something with someone who shared her values. When Maya finally left the cafe, the sun was beginning its descent, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. She walked to the main road to catch an auto back home, but her mind was elsewhere, already imagining herself in Zara's studio, working on projects that mattered, being challenged and supported in equal measure. But as the auto pulled into her neighborhood, reality crashed back in. She saw her building, the peeling paint on its exterior, the laundry hanging from every balcony, the familiar faces of neighbors sitting outside, chatting and watching the world go by. She saw her life, the one she had built, the one that depended on her being exactly where she was, doing exactly what she did. How could she possibly say yes to Zara's offer? How could she take on more when she was already stretched so thin? And yet, how could she say no? How could she let this opportunity slip away, knowing it might be years before another one like it came along? Maya climbed the stairs to her apartment slowly, each step feeling heavier than the last. She opened the door to find her mother in the kitchen, stirring the chicken curry that Maya had prepared that morning. "You're late," her mother said without turning around. "I was getting worried." "Sorry, Ma. The meeting went longer than I expected." "How did it go?" Maya hesitated. "Good. Really good, actually." Her mother finally turned to look at her, and something in Maya's expression must have given her away because her mother's face shifted from mild annoyance to concern. "What is it?" she asked. "I need to talk to you and Papa," Maya said, "after dinner." And so it began, the conversation Maya had been avoiding, the one that would determine whether she stayed in the comfortable cage she had built for herself or whether she dared to step outside and see if she could fly. Dinner that night was unusually quiet. Maya's father, Rajesh, ate slowly, savoring the chicken curry that had turned out perfectly despite her mother's earlier concerns. Her mother, Sunita, kept glancing at Maya with barely concealed curiosity, waiting for whatever bombshell her daughter was about to drop. Maya pushed her food around her plate, her appetite gone, replaced by a knot of anxiety that seemed to tighten with each passing minute. She had rehearsed what she wanted to say during the auto ride home, but now, sitting at the small dining table with her parents, the carefully chosen words seemed to evaporate. "So," her father said finally, setting down his spoon, "your mother tells me you have something to discuss." Maya took a deep breath. "I met with someone today. Her name is Zara Khan, and she's starting a design studio. She wants me to join as the creative director." Silence. Her parents exchanged glances, a wordless communication honed over 32 years of marriage. "What kind of studio?" her father asked. "A design studio focused on brands with social impact. Sustainable businesses, NGOs, social enterprises. The kind of work I've always wanted to do more of." "And this is a job offer?" her mother asked, her tone careful, neutral. "Yes. Full-time, but with flexibility to work from home when I need to." "How much does it pay?" her father asked, ever practical. Maya told them, and she watched her father's face as he did the mental calculations, comparing it to what she currently made, to what the household needed. "It's less than you could make at a corporate job," he said. "I know that, Ma. But I'm not saying I want to stop supporting the family. I'm just saying I want to do work that feels meaningful." "Is that so wrong?" "No, of course not," her father said, his voice gentle. "But you have to understand our perspective. You're 28, still unmarried. If you take a job that doesn't pay as well as your other options, if you invest all your time in this startup that might not succeed, what happens to your future? What happens when we're not here anymore and you need to take care of yourself? There it was, the unspoken anxiety that underlay every conversation about Maya's life, her unmarried status, her uncertain future, the idea that she needed to be preparing for a life alone rather than building a life of purpose. So everything I do has to be about preparing for you to die? Maya said, the words coming out harsher than she intended. I can't live my life because I need to be ready for some theoretical future where I'm alone and desperate? Maya, don't talk like that, her mother said sharply. We're just trying to be practical. We're trying to look out for you. But maybe what I need isn't someone looking out for me, Maya said, her voice rising despite her efforts to stay calm. Maybe what I need is someone believing in me. Someone saying, yes, go for it. Take the risk. We trust you to figure it out. Her father sighed, that deep, weary sigh that she had heard so many times over the years. The one that said he was tired, that he didn't want to fight, that he just wanted peace. It's not about trust, Beta. It's about reality. I'm not getting any younger. My health isn't improving. What happens if I need more care? What happens if your mother falls ill? What if Vikram can't send money from London because he's dealing with his own expenses? These are real concerns, Maya, not theoretical ones. Maya felt the familiar guilt settling over her, heavy and suffocating. Her father was right, of course. His health was fragile. Her mother wasn't young anymore. Her brother, Vikram, was building his own life in London, and while he sent money when he could, it wasn't regular or reliable. But there was another truth, one that Maya was only beginning to articulate to herself. If she kept living her life based on worst-case scenarios, on all the things that might go wrong, she would never do anything. She would just stay frozen in place, playing it safe, watching opportunities pass by while she waited for permission to live. What if I promised to contribute the same amount to household expenses? Maya said, what if I show you that I can do this job and still take care of Papa and still be here when you need me? Would you at least consider supporting this? Her parents looked at each other again, and Maya saw the doubt in their eyes, the fear, the love that expressed itself through worry rather than encouragement. How long is this job offer good for? Her father asked. I have a week to decide. Then take the week, he said. Think about it carefully. Make a plan. Show us how it would work, practically, not just in theory. And then we'll talk again. It wasn't the enthusiastic support Maya had hoped for, but it wasn't an outright no either. It was typical of her parents, cautious and conditional, wanting proof before belief. Okay, Maya said quietly. I'll do that. After dinner, Maya retreated to her corner workspace, but she couldn't focus on her laptop screen. Instead, she pulled out a notebook and started writing, making lists, trying to map out exactly how this could work. She calculated finances, noting her current freelance income, the proposed salary from Zara's studio, the household expenses she contributed to. The numbers were tight, but workable if she was careful. She made a schedule, blocking out time for her father's care, for household responsibilities, for work. It looked impossibly packed, but wasn't her life already impossibly packed? At least this way, she'd be working towards something she cared about. She thought about what she would need: better internet, a proper workspace at home, maybe someone to help with household tasks a few hours a week so she could focus during critical work periods. As she wrote, her phone buzzed. It was Priya, probably wondering why she hadn't responded to her earlier messages. So, are you coming to visit or what? Also, I had the weirdest craving today. Pickle ice cream. Don't ask. Maya smiled and called her instead of texting back. Priya answered on the second ring. Finally, I thought you'd disappeared off the face of the earth. What's going on? Maya told her everything. The message from Zara, the meeting, the job offer, the conversation with her parents. Wait, Priya said. Let me get this straight. Someone offered you your dream job, and you're actually considering turning it down because your parents aren't thrilled. It's not that simple, Pri. Isn't it? Maya, I love you, but you've been putting your life on hold for years. When are you going to start living for yourself? That's easy for you to say. Your parents were supportive when you wanted to go to art school. They encouraged you to marry Rahul even though he wasn't Gujarati. They celebrated your choices. True, Priyo admitted. But you know what else is true? I made those choices regardless. I didn't wait for permission. I decided what I wanted and then figured out how to make it work with my family, not the other way around. Maya was quiet, absorbing this. Look, Priya continued, her voice gentler now. I'm not saying you should abandon your parents or stop caring about their opinions. But there's a difference between respecting their concerns and letting their fears control your life. You're 28, Maya. You're brilliant, talented, and capable. When are you going to start believing that? After they hung up, Maya sat in the dark, the notebook still open in her lap, Priya's words echoing in her mind. When are you going to start believing that? The truth was, Maya had spent so much of her life trying to be what others needed her to be. The good daughter, the responsible sister, the reliable caretaker, that she had forgotten how to believe in herself as anything other than a supporting character in other people's stories. But what if she could be the protagonist of her own story? What if she could be both the dutiful daughter and the ambitious professional? What if she didn't have to choose between family and dreams, but could somehow, imperfectly, messily, find a way to honor both? Maya looked at her laptop, at the portfolio website still open on the screen, at the work she had created over the years. Each project represented a client who had trusted her, who had believed she could bring their vision to life. Why couldn't she extend that same trust to herself? She opened a new email and began typing. Hi, Zara. Thank you again for meeting with me today. I wanted to let you know that I'm very interested in the position. I have some family responsibilities that I need to work around, but I believe I can make this work. I'd love to discuss the specifics with you. Would it be possible to meet again in the next few days? Best, Maya. She read it over 3 times, her finger hovering over the send button. This was it, the moment of commitment, the moment where she stopped being a passenger in her own life and started being the driver. Maya hit send. Then she closed her laptop, pulled out her phone, and sent one more message, this one to her brother in London. Vikram, I need your advice. Call me when you have time. It's important. Sometimes, Maya thought, courage wasn't about being fearless. It was about being terrified and doing the thing anyway. It was about taking one small step, then another, until suddenly you looked back and realized you had traveled much further than you ever thought possible. That night, Maya lay in bed, unable to sleep, her mind racing with possibilities and anxieties in equal measure. But underneath the worry, there was something else, a tiny flame of hope, fragile but persistent, refusing to be extinguished. Vikram called the next morning, just as Maya was helping her father with his physical therapy exercises. She let it go to voicemail, but he called again immediately, which was their sibling code for, "This is actually urgent." "I need to take this," Maya told her father, who nodded and continued his leg stretches independently while Maya stepped out onto the small balcony. "What's wrong?" Vikram asked as soon as she answered, his voice tinged with worry. Despite being 5,000 miles away, her older brother still defaulted to protective mode whenever she reached out unexpectedly. "Nothing's wrong." "Well, maybe something's right, and I'm freaking out about it." "That sounds very much like you," Vikram said, and she could hear the smile in his voice. "Tell me everything." Maya told him about Zara, about the studio, about the opportunity that felt both thrilling and terrifying. She told him about the conversation with their parents, about their concerns and her own doubts. When she finished, there was a brief silence on the other end. She heard the faint sounds of London in the background, car horns, someone shouting, the general hum of a city waking up. "Can I tell you something?" Vikram finally said. "Something I've wanted to say for a while, but wasn't sure how." "Sure." "I feel guilty about you, Maya. All the time." This wasn't what Maya had expected. "What? Why?" "Because I left. I got to pursue my dreams, move to London, build my career, while you stayed behind and took on all the responsibilities I should have been sharing. And everyone acts like that's just how it is. Like, of course, the son gets to leave and the daughter stays. But it's not fair, and I've always known it's not fair." Maya felt a lump forming in her throat. "Vikram, You don't have to feel guilty. You worked hard for your opportunities. And I chose to stay. Did you though? Or did you feel like you had no other choice because I had already made mine? Maya thought about this. Had it been a choice? At the time, when Vikram had gotten his acceptance letter from the London School of Economics, the whole family had celebrated. No one had questioned whether he should go or stay. It was understood that opportunities like that didn't come often, that he should seize them. But when Maya had wanted to apply for a design fellowship in Berlin 2 years later, around the same time their father's health had started declining, the conversation had been different. Someone needs to be here, their mother had said. Vikram is already away. I don't know, Maya admitted. Maybe a bit of both. Well, here's what I think, Vikram said firmly. You should take this job. Not because it's perfect or because it solves all your problems, but because you deserve to have something that's yours, something you chose, something you're excited about. But what about Ma and Papa? What about them? Maya, they're not helpless. Ma is perfectly capable of managing most things. Papa's condition is stable. And if something comes up that they genuinely can't handle, I'll come back. I can work remotely for a while if I need to. You do that? Of course I would. You're my sister. And honestly, it's time I started pulling my weight again. I've been using the distance as an excuse for too long. Maya felt tears prickling her eyes. I don't know what to say. Say yes to the job. Say yes to yourself for once. And listen, I'm going to call Ma and Papa and have a conversation with them. Not to override their concerns, but to make sure they know that you're not alone in this, that I'm still part of this family, and I'll step up when needed. Vikram, you don't have to. Yes, I do. I should have done this years ago. Now tell me about this Zara person. What's she like? Is this legit, or is it one of those startups that sounds amazing but has no real business plan? They talked for another 30 minutes, with Vikram asking practical questions about the studio's funding, Zara's track record, the contract details. His MBA mind kicked in, analyzing the opportunity from every angle, and by the end of the conversation, Maya felt more confident that this wasn't just a wild impulse, but a real, viable opportunity. One more thing, Vikram said before hanging up. Remember when we were kids, and you wanted to learn how to ride a bicycle? And you spent every evening for 2 weeks running alongside me until I got it, Maya said, remembering those golden hours in their building's compound. Vikram patient and encouraging even when she fell repeatedly. Right. And do you remember what I told you the first time you rode on your own? You said, see, you could always do it. You just needed to believe it enough to let go. Still true, Maya. Still true. After the call, Maya sat on the balcony for a while longer, watching the morning unfold in her neighborhood. Across the way, a woman hung laundry on her balcony, colorful saris flapping in the breeze like prayer flags. Below, children in school uniforms waited for their bus, backpacks nearly as big as they were. Life went on, ordinary and extraordinary all at once. Her phone buzzed with a message from Zara. Got your email. I'm so glad. How about we meet at the studio space on Thursday? I'd love to show you where we'll be working. Send you the address. Thursday, 2 days away. 2 days to finalize her decision, to shore up her courage, to take the leap. Maya went back inside to find her father still doing his exercises, her mother now in the kitchen starting the day's cooking. The familiar rhythms of their household, the patterns worn smooth by repetition. Who is on the phone? Her mother asked. Vikram. He says hello. How is he? Is he eating properly? He didn't call last week. He's fine, Ma. And he'll call you later today. He wants to talk to you and Papa about something. Her mother looked up sharply. About what? He'll explain. But Ma. Maya hesitated, then pushed forward. I wanted to tell you something. I'm going to take the job. With Zara's studio. Her mother's expression flickered through several emotions. Surprise, concern, resignation, and something else Maya couldn't quite identify. Even though your father and I asked you to wait, she said quietly. Not even though. It's just, I need to do this. I need to at least try. And I promise I won't let it affect my responsibilities here. I'll make it work. Her mother was silent for a long moment, stirring the pot on the stove with more force than necessary. Then she said, without looking at Maya, "Your Dottie, my mother-in-law, she was a very talented singer. Did I ever tell you that?" Maya shook her head. Her grandmother had passed away when